Alsoa in the bottom right, Nightcrawler in the top left, and Rose City Saint in the bottom left. And it looks like everybody's on their way, and we'll see what we find. I'm going to start out finding a magic bottle, but not quite the magic bottle our runners are looking for.
So how's the race so far?
Well, Nightcrawler's found a way to take a death. Rose City Saint is fallen down a hole. Trails is starting to work on his levels, Magic 2 and Life 3. Also is unfortunately just taken a death as well.
Permanent sword beams? Is that new? Or has that always been a thing with the randomizer?
I believe it has been.
I've never really seen the effectiveness of sword beams. They just seem to knock back everything.
Well, usually they do a little bit of damage while you're trying to close in on an enemy.
Well, most of the bigger enemies anyway. They just do a small little knockback damage.
I'm not sure if it would help trying to knock out a
boss. Let's pretend it's a boss.
Well, definitely not a boss, but also finding a magic potion, so he'll go up to 5 magic bars on the
We're too tired for this, aren't we?
Oh, I've been up since about 4:30 in the morning. I haven't got my nap yet, and I'm just like, I want to make one coherent thought tonight.
You know, I've been going to sleep around 9 o'clock every night. We have 89 watchers.
Oh, and I apologize to all of
every
them but
one of
Alan, because I know he's hiding in there too, so we can subtract him.
Can we minus the fact that I exist still?
Uh,
I mean, my birthday's in what, 5 days? Do I have to be here? This is a curse. I was voted to be a restreamer.
Well, I voted for the wheelchair, just, you know.
I've been meaning to ask, what is the wheelchair vote? Is that to have, like, a handicap going in? Like, give him crutches? Like, I don't know, extra weights? Like, say, okay, he can play the entire game, but he can only do it with, jump always on and one-hit death.
There's multiple ways to interpret it, but it looks like Rose City Saints found the magic potion, so he'll go up to 5 bars as well now. Trails looks like he's got a pretty early advantage on Life 3, Magic 3, and Attack 2. Also, with Attack 3 and Life 3, pretty comparable situation. But, Rose City Saint isn't too far behind Life 3, Magic, and Attack 2. But right now, I think it's a lot more about exploration, so we'll see what our runners end up finding. Rose City Saint trying to explore into Death Mountain.
What did I just see on the map on also a screen? It was a bridge through a trail?
Yeah, it certainly looks like it.
What?
Welcome to Randomizer, Maris.
No, I've seen funky designs before, but like a bridge going over a trail, it just looks peaceful. It looks out of place.
Well, the swamp kind of hiding around on the side there.
Ew.
It's like Nightcrawler's found a cave. Rose City Saint still trying to make his way through Death Mountain.
So I had an idea, right? You know how when you're in the swamp, you walk slowly on the overworld? What if that was the case no matter where you were in the overworld?
Looks like Nightcrawler and now Alsoa both have, I believe that's the flute. And somewhere along the way, Trails and Rose City Saint each picking up an item as well. Rose City Saint the flute, but Trails finding, I believe that's the raft.
What is Nightcrawler's raft, by the way? For his sprite.
Oh, we'll find out soon enough if he decides.
Well, he already grabbed it.
He does have the raft, but we'll see what his actual sprite is when he tries to journey east.
We'll never know.
Oh, I don't think we've seen a town or a palace aside from the starting palace yet.
Chat, you're gonna have to get out of my swamp. It's just not allowed, man. What?
No, you're getting.
Is it the fact that every other week
chat
I
all
managed
riled
to...
up now?
Is it the fact that I just managed to pull out a meme? Pull a meme out of my hat? I think next week's flag set needs to just have all swamp.
Ay.
Did anyone see the thing on Alsoa's screen that was just floating?
No, I saw Trails pick up his flute though, so
Ooh.
here's to Three-Eye Rock being a thing in this seed.
P-Lifer, do you have a fedora?
Looks like Nightcrawler rocking out the with the little jet ski, as it looks like he's wandered off to the eastern continent. Rose City Saint and now potentially Alsoa in Death Mountain, I believe. Or excuse me, Trails looking to explore Death Mountain. Alsoa, I believe, is on their way to pick up a raft.
You know, only 8 minutes in, running right into Death Mountain is just like... I don't know. I don't know if I would do it that early.
Well, you've not found a town. You've not found a palace.
You got a raft.
That is true. Well, everybody.
Trails has
except
got
Rose
the right
City
idea.
Saint does.
He just said, you know what? I'm going to the other area. See ya.
Well, Nightcrawler's already over on the east. It looks like Trails might be headed over there.
What did he find at the end of this cave? Another jar.
So
Jane
Trails
bad. So
on 6 for his magic limit. So that gives him, let's see, 96 magic right now. So if he actually goes into a town, finds one maybe on the map somewhere,
Oh, Nightcrawler just found the hammer on us. Just a lone sand tile.
Yeah, that's a nice find. Eastern paying off. It looks like Nightcrawler pokes his head into Maze Island and nopes out. It looks like we might have our first spell of the game being claimed by Nightcrawler. The old lady, of course, knows nothing. I know nothing.
I think I know something this time.
Well, that looked like an alt key, not a spell Nightcrawler picked up.
The magic key. You are very tired, Frico.
That's an alt key today. I don't know what you're talking about, magic. They don't have any magic.
An alky?
All. A-L-L. All.
How about an alky?
Key.
No, shh. Just let it be an alky.
No, you're wrong.
It's an alkaline battery. It helps you run the game. Yes, P-Lifer, you got it.
I was really trying to not let him get there with that. But, P-Lifer, you just ruined my whole night. Thank you.
Can I reflect that?
No, but Nightcrawler can.
Okay, good. Counting on chat to not ruin your night. I think every night chat about ruins it, right? Half the time, 50-50. It's only when I'm sitting here with Nightcrawler and he brings up his fancy strategies and, you know, just can't do it, man. Just can't do it.
Well, my fancy strategy is the only way to win is not to play.
Or to know nothing?
Well, yeah, that too. I mean, that's the core of said strategy.
Nightcrawler just got that hint for the magic key, even though he has it. It's a disappointing hint.
Well, it looks like Rose City Saint has found our second spell, and that will be Jump. So we know where Reflect and Jump are presently, and it looks like Nightcrawler's going to try to pay a visit to Old Kasuto.
I guess Trails was trying to go for that XP. I don't know why.
Might be close to a level up before...
No, he wasn't. He was very far from it. He went back in there. I guess maybe he was thinking he would have gotten more than 200.
Potentially trying to reset the spawn timer on the overworld enemies.
Is that what that does?
I believe they spawn on a step counter.
Really? I never knew that killing enemies on the screen actually prevents them from spawning in the overworld as much.
Well, it wasn't that. It was why he double-taked back into Old Kasuto was to reset the step counter.
Wow.
Nightcrawler picking up a heart container while Trail's picking up the old child hiding in one of the caves.
I have to question, how does a child get themselves lost in a cave that's dark and filled with lava?
Very easily, apparently.
I have to wonder how they actually got there. That child's up to no good.
Well, I think we can agree on that.
I think Dora the Explorer went with him. They got lost. They couldn't find Hoblo.
Well, when their parents know nothing, they don't know to, tell their children, maybe not a good idea to go out into caves in the dark. Just a theory. Well, looks like Rose City Saint and Nightcrawler are trying to make a little bit of headway in Maze Island, but just finding encounter tiles for the time being.
P-Lifer, that was amazing.
Looks like we found our first drop in Maze Island for Nightcrawler.
And it is a heart container. Now, Soa just found the statue. Was that in Death Mountain?
It might be.
That is an odd spot for it to be in.
Don't think Alsoa's on the Western Continent, though.
And RCS just got the glove. This
No,
is...
Alsoa... I think Alsoa's a little further south than where the bridge to Maze Island is. I think he journeyed south.
A very confusing path for every one of them. Normally they all kind of just match pace sometimes, like maybe one or two of them. But all four of them have different items. With the exception of Raft. And of course Flute, which I don't think is going to be needed. Did we see 3-Eye Rock?
Not yet, but it definitely revealed a town underneath one of the forest tiles. I believe that's the hammer that's needed for that. And it looks like Rose City Saint finding the palace not to his liking inside of Maze Island, but it looks like he's going to find the drop-down for the heart container.
Does fire have a second spell attached to it, or is it useless?
Well,
Alan, what's the flag set? Because we didn't look, we're too tired.
Trails is picked up a cross, and it looks like Nightcrawler's saying...
In the truck stop bathroom.
Hold my beer. I'm gonna have a go at this palace.
I think this is the first time I've seen a banana palace. Oh, fire does have a secondary.
Oh, it almost always does. It's just a matter of if said secondary spell is
Thunder, and if not,
of value.
why?
Like, as you said,
Fairy.
thunder, perhaps life, maybe fairy.
We can pray this run is short. We can pray Frico and me can go to sleep.
Well, also I just got a hint for Death Mountain. I unfortunately did not see what it was. Looks like also is working on some sword technique. Let's see.
RCS just found life. Not that it's gonna be much use, but you never know.
Well, I believe Rose City Saint only has jump and reflect so far.
Nope. I think it's just jump in life.
Well, the bottom spell, I know he has that one, and that was reflect.
I didn't see reflect. You found the hammer tile. So
Oh.
hammer is not useless. There's actually a bouldered up cave where Alsoa is. But unfortunately, he doesn't seem to have the hammer.
No, it looks like Alsoa missed the hammer tile. But he does have fairy, so it looks like he's going to warp across the bridge that's not quite built yet.
Hammer opens up key and child so far. And what does child open up? Did anyone else notice? Because I didn't.
I'm not
Really
sure.
hard keeping track of 4 people at once sometimes.
Well, which spot in the spells would the child spell be? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I would not know.
So our first
I'm pretty
three
sure
are...
RCS does not have reflect.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I definitely thought he did. Oh well.
There was times where even Trails would come back and be like, yo, by the way, you were actually right about what I was saying earlier. You were right. You missed a thing, and I thought wrong, and he corrected me. So things happen.
Oh, well. The item screens open for about half a second, and I think I'm seeing, like, the 8th magic spot when it's the 7th one. Oh, well. Stuff happens.
You get, like, 1 frame to view.
Yeah. Yeah, also
Trail's getting that 7th magic container, which is going to help him out if he can get the 8th.
Well, I think just having that 7th magic container give him a good shot. If the magic container requirement lady is in the game.
If anyone was here for the last week, it was very brutal if you did not go into GP with, you know, or actually go back to a certain town just to get fairy, which required 4 magic containers. Or 8, sorry.
Oh.
So I think that's what Trails is doing right now to make sure that doesn't happen again, because he had early GP access, and that actually costed him.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So you can imagine his frustration right now, and probably the joy he's feeling finding these magic containers that early. This Nightcrawler's Sprite Crystallis hero. I think it is something to do with Dragon Quest? Or Dragon Warrior?
No.
Is it?
No.
Is he using a different sprite? It's Crystallis. Alright, it is. I didn't know. I thought all this time it was...
Did you, like, even play games when you were a child? What is wrong with you?
I played knockoff third-party games.
Oh, so you got all the fun ones, like the LJN titles. Ah, I got you.
No, I got most of the Camerica. And the weird ones. Trails just grabbed the statue real quick. And just up aid. When did he get... Where was the cross?
The cross was at the end of a cave.
Huh. Well, hopefully there's nothing invisible in GP. You know, I wonder if that's possible to set up with the randomizer. Just have all invisible enemies in GP, requiring Holy Cross. Like, everything, yeah, P-Lifer is exactly right, that's how I wanted to say it. Everything in GP is invisible. Like, how would you continue? Just swing and run?
Hope you blocked everything.
Projectiles are also invisible.
It looks like we have Nightcrawler diving into a palace, as is Rose City Saint. Also, using the hammer to liberate one of the towns from a little bit of a issue. So there's the all key for Alsoa.
Mean the Alki?
No, I will not. No, I refuse it.
You know what? I should take an early birthday shot, because this is probably going to be the last weekly I do for a while. As in, not next week, but the week after I'll be back. Oh, seems like RCS is coming up. And Karok is just pretty much done.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
We started on...
Clipped in the corner. And what's in the spell cave on Alsoa's screen? What did he find? Heart container? Oh, P-bag.
Oh, only a 200 point P-bag. That's like the bigger, you know, just kind of haha.
Middle finger.
Now we know where Trail's final magic container is. Nightcrawler picking it up in the palace. And I believe that puts Nightcrawler on 7 blocks as well.
Trail's finding boots. Is he the only one with boots right now?
I believe so, because
yeah.
he was inside of a dungeon when he was...
He can run Death Mountain right now. I would consider Death Mountain right now, but... at this stage of the game, I would just start doing palaces.
Well, I think Trails may have gotten a hint. Alsoa got one as well, as Nightcrawler Dumpster's horse said, that Death Mountain had an item, but I did not see what it was. Trails is instead opting to head up north on the eastern continent, finding an ocean and a lava tile.
Where did he get the boots? A cave that was dark. He also found the candle on a random water tile.
The boots leading to a candle so far. Trail's not interested in the lava tile, surprisingly. And also finding our gloves, I believe the other Maze Island drop.
Nightcrawler found that 8th potion. Or, sorry, magic jar. I've been playing a little bit of too much Ocarina of Time online.
And it looks like Trails has found his way into Maze Island, so we'll see if he ends up having a go at the palace, or just exploring and finding a glove.
You know, that's a lot of bridges. Do they really need that many?
I don't know, you have to transport all of the materials to build the palace?
Yeah, but that many to the north of the palace? Like, who designed the bridges and why?
I mean, I think so. I mean, you got the inlet, you know, up
I
there.
think somebody needs to lose their construction permit to do things. Can we get the Hyrule Guard involved to, you know...
You unload everything up to the north there, and you gotta get it across the river.
For aesthetic purposes.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it checks out, you know?
That's still too many bridges. The whole path might as well just be bridges. That whole path of water. No, better yet, just make it all the river devils. Just make them all river devils. No big deal.
Well, Trail's finding a glove, and it looks like Rose City Saint trying to get himself in the lead by finishing a second palace.
And Nightcrawler just got the downstab.
So he's working on his way to obtaining four-way fighting. I believe 3 of our runners have the downstab so far. I'm not sure if Rose City Saint has it yet.
Ah, P-Lifer, you're funny.
I don't know what he's talking about. Oceanfront property and beachfront property?
It's like the worst. It's expensive.
Exactly.
Nobody ever buys it. Unless it's a hotel, because at least you can make something out of that, but even then...
Well, that's why they made the palace there, you know?
Hospitality. I mean, they just want Link's blood, just a little bit, you know?
Eh.
They gotta bring back their best friend, right?
Exactly. Well, it looks like our runners have taken your advice, and look, they're all in different palaces. I believe Trails and Alsoa are in the Maze Island Palace. Rose City Saint about to finish up Palace 2.
I have to say, that is the most hideous palette color ever. I think I would just quit if I saw that color. I think I would just say, nope, I'd rather play at a truck stop bathroom.
What is it with you in truck stop bathrooms?
I don't know.
Tonight?
It just, the color reminds me of a truck stop bathroom. Like one that hasn't been cleaned in like 16 years. And it's probably abandoned.
As a bus driver, I'm gonna have to tell you that, like, the cleanest places in existence anymore are truck stop bathrooms.
Seriously?
Oh, absolutely. They're all, like, corporatized now, and, you know...
Oh, I'm saying, like, 90s.
Well, alright, yeah.
Out in, like, North Florida, or, like, Michigan.
Oh god, no.
Exactly, or better, Ohio. I'm not talking, like, you know, nice 2015 and up. you know, nice truck stop bathroom. I'm talking about 90s grit. You walk in and there's like moldy sandwich dispensers for like 25 cents. Some Futurama type quality there, you know?
Yeah. Oh, Rose City Saint finding the item and just deciding, alright, I'm done with this. And there was our three-eyed rock, Rose City Saint.
He's gonna get the hint. Or not. A truck stop bathroom in LA.
I made the mistake of going to LA exactly once and never again.
That's the worst idea ever. Why would you go there?
E3 2004.
Ew, that's gross.
Yeah, well. It didn't cost me anything, so, you know. Well,
Don't get a
it
parking
did,
ticket
but,
there.
you know, I can't, like, quantify the mental stress in, you know, any kind of,
Leaving LA.
But it... I could have walked to the hotel faster than the taxi got me there.
"25 isn't an old man." Well, I'll be 27 soon.
I was 25, almost 14 and a half years ago.
Give me my old age back. Now, Soa just found the medicine in what I'm going to dub not the Maze Palace, but, you know, I'm gonna call it the Toilet Palace.
Ugh.
That's the Toilet Palace. I mean, what else would I call it? This is the only time I have ever seen a yellow palace in Weekly Randomizer. And I'm not counting GP because that's like a shade of orange. Urine Palace? No, just Toilet Palace. You're to take a picture of any of these screens, you can just throw them in your toilet. The Toilet Palace exists because Ganon's plumbing just didn't get done.
Oh, I believe Nightcrawler's finished off a palace.
We didn't get to see what it was because we were busy joking.
I believe that was Karok going down in Palace 4. Or no, excuse me. Ribonak in Palace 3? No.
Sewer Palace. And Trails also found the medicine though, but what does the medicine get them? Thunder?
Well, we've not accounted for Thunder yet on any of the render screens, so we'll see. I mean, it looks like the Trophy Child and the medicine are in play, or at least the child and the trophy are. No, Trails has the medicine as well, so I guess all of our reward spells are on the table. Also, using Jump to not take a drop that I believe I saw him drop down from previously, so Palace 6 seems to be throwing Alsoa for quite the loop. Literally.
I'm guessing he's gonna loop back through the whole palace again.
Oh, hopefully not, but we'll see what Alsoa has in mind. Nightcrawler picking up fire. Probably
I'd like it
gonna
if he
use
used it, so if we could see what the second spell was. Alright, he used it. Oh, it's shield.
Rip.
That's, that is rip.
Ooh, Trails does not have the all key, and using Fairy to bypass a doorway. It looks like Trails is resetting himself. Palace 6 giving Alsoa and Trails no end of trouble here.
RCS is getting attacked by invisible Moas while trying to just encounter skip everything. It's just unfortunate. He might just take a death before he gets there. No, never mind.
No, that was the
And
last
it's
one. Oh, and
GP.
he finds the Great Palace.
A dark purple GP, that actually looks scary. We went from a joke urine palace to spooky purple GP. Now, does the color match the drapes?
Oh, that'll be the big question for our runners going through GP now, won't it?
Cals, a Moa is a ghost. It's not a Poe in this game. If I was playing a lot of Ocarina of Time and completely forgot the name, I would have called it a Poe. Or a ghost if I was lazy.
Oh, low-hanging fruit.
What was that?
Exactly. Well,
Keys
so
are
far
apes?
it looks like Trails
What's an
and
ape?
Alsoa. Yeah, in Zelda 2, they renamed the bats.
From Keys to Aches. That... my brain stopped working.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're actually called Keys in every other Zelda game in existence ever. Except
Yeah, I've-
Zelda 2.
Never heard him being different.
Oh, wow. Bonus gift. 4-bar Goomba fight for Nightcrawler, so it looks like he might be able to finish off P5 as Alsoa and Trails continue to struggle
He
with
might get
P6, and it
smacked
looks
here in
like
a sec.
Rose City Saint is
Oh, never mind. He survived.
looks like Rose City Saint joining the Palace 6 Fiesta here. Trails finding Barba, Alsoa still just not able to figure this one out. Looks like Rose City Saint deciding no thank you.
Oh, Alan. The toilet snake. You finally got it.
Do you understand how bad of
I
an
said it was
influence
P6,
you are on
and I said the
everybody else?
Toilet Palace, and I was waiting for someone to get it. Oh, man. I am the worst.
How speed gaming has not just, like, banned you for life is beyond me.
I think they like my
Just
comedy.
saying.
I think they like my comedy. I come here to joke too hard, and one day I'll get into trouble.
Ah, well.
That's the day where I'm like, see ya!
Just make sure to drag me down with you.
One day when we're on air, one day, we're just gonna be like, well, we're gonna say one forbidden word together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, say it. And then that's it. Stream just ends immediately.
Oh, looks like Rose City Saint poking into a dungeon and said, nope, no thank you. Instead, it looks like we're going to remove the River Devil and see what's hiding behind the River Devil, as also finally makes his way to Barba.
Also is the only one that has not completed a palace yet, so this would be a great lead for him.
Well, Trails has...
Only one.
Yeah,
Barba.
which is picking off Barba just about 2 minutes ago. So Alsoa just a little bit behind Trails, but at least for completed palaces, Nightcrawler in the lead for the time being. As Alsoa finishes off the Barba fight, so everybody's on the board now, at least, as Trail's trying to, thought about trying Fairy Feet and chose against it. Possibly does not have enough magic to cast Fairy one more time.
Darunia had Thunder.
And Trail's finding Palace 4 and deciding no thank you.
One day we'll get to the end.
Oh, Nightcrawler choosing to get on out of there, so...
Why? You know, I'm not questioning it.
Neither am I, but, still... interesting strategy. We'll leave it at that. And it looks like Nightcrawler just making an immediate beeline to head back over toward the Eastern or the Eastern Continent. So we'll see what he's got in mind. I believe he's already checked the 3 out-of-place tiles. Not gonna head that way any further.
I wonder what he's searching for.
Medicine, perhaps? I don't think the candle will do him much good. The cross, boots, he does not have.
He was at a huge advantage in the beginning. And he's starting to lose that, Nightcrawler.
Well, it's the whole exploration versus getting palaces done. Nightcrawler is definitely ahead in the way of getting palaces done for the time being, but
He's behind on items.
You know, the exploration aspect, unfortunately, Nightcrawler is slightly lacking, but finding Maze Island, that might help him out a little bit.
Has he been to the Toilet Palace yet? No, he hasn't.
No. And it looks like he's making an immediate beeline to get in there, even though I'm pretty sure he's aware that it is Palace 6.
I think he'll figure that out the moment he goes down and sees a Moa. I think he knows. The Blueberry Palace, you must be heroic to use the vape juice. I question chat reality.
I just reject their reality.
Be like for what?
I just,
I read the first sentence and then I just
see a giant wall of text and I'm just like, nope, too much effort. No.
That's how I feel. We need the reality stone. There wouldn't be enough reality here. RCS grabbing the boots. Change the commentator's reality. Yeah, change my reality, please. Make it so that I don't turn another age in 5 days.
Well, can't help you there, Sparky.
Or patch the hole that's like on my gut. I got a nice stab wound on my side that is not pleasant. Wouldn't really call it a stab wound though.
Oh, now you're trying the sympathy play for your operation?
No. Still hurts though.
How long has it been? Like a month?
A month. It's still healing. It was all the way through, man.
Ugh.
It literally looks like someone took a knife and just stabbed me.
Well, I could fix that if you'd really like. It only
just take another knife and just,
you know,
put it, right back through and just say, okay, it's fixed, it's patched.
Won't be much traffic. Take me about 20 minutes to get down there.
Ugh. What's a Groundhog's Day thing? Is that a movie I missed?
I think it, like, has one of the Ghostbusters in it.
Pepsi Lime Palace. It's funny, I actually have 2 12-packs of Pepsi Lime right next to me. I also have the mango. No particular reason, I just have them.
Well, Trail's making short work of Helmet Head and needed to watch himself a little bit. He might have pushed Helmet Head a little too far off the screen and it would have not spawned the key.
Then he would have been trapped there and had up an A, wouldn't he?
I believe so, yes. So it looks like Trails is going to unlock four-way fighting. Looks like he's on his way to pick up the upward stab.
I believe Nightcrawler is making his way very shortly. He's getting close to Barba. The second mini-boss fight.
Yeah, finding a Rebenak to practice on for when he ends up in Palace 3.
I'm not a huge fan of them. What?
That was an interesting little reaction from Nightcrawler.
I think he meant to use life. Whoops. That was that was a brain fart. Oh! I can't.
Oh no. As the wheels fall off for Nightcrawler, the world of Tilt creeping in ever so slowly.
I think someone stole the wheels off your school bus.
Please do.
Metaphorically.
Oh,
And
I was
physically.
kind of hoping for real.
You're hoping your bus gets vandalized?
Well, give me a good reason to just be like, nope, sorry, bus isn't working. I'm going home. I don't want to work today.
Oh.
I'm so done with this school year, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
So Nightcrawler, it looks like, we'll see if he's going to have to refight that Rebenak, or if it actually counted it as being defeated. Nope. Looks like we're on to
Half
round
health.
2.
Making sure he actually does the right spell this time.
Well, Rose City Saint finding the magic word that will give him power.
School tests are awful. I mean, honestly, it's been 10 years since I've been in a school. And I still have nightmares of doing my finals. I'm not even kidding. I'll have scenarios played out in my head where I've done my final test. They're not pleasant.
One of my best memories of high school is my calculus final. I look at the piece of paper, we get an hour and a half. He's like, oh, here's 10 problems. And, you know, I'm like, okay, this should be easy. I look at it, and it's like I'm looking at, you know, giant Greek alphabet or something. So I tell the person at the table with me, I'm like, I'm going to take a nap. Wake me up in half an hour. He wakes me up with 10 minutes left to go. So now I'm looking at a piece of paper, but, you know, I had my little almost hour and 15-minute nap. So, the long story short, 10 questions, 10 minutes, flew right through it, got the 100, and, you know, life went on. And here I am now because of it.
I would immediately beat the kid up next to me and take his sheet and just say it's mine. Just say, nope, this kid slept through it. Just switch desks with him.
Well, I mean, I had absolutely no desire to actually take the test, but, it was the final. It was the difference between getting like a 95 and a 98 for the overall grade for the year.
Oh. Oh, you got trails on Karok now.
Yeah, Trails is making a pretty good move
Comeback.
here. This will be the third palace for him. Palace 1 looked to be on the pretty trolly side from Nightcrawler's run through it. But we'll see how Trails negotiates it. So Nightcrawler's lead is now half a palace?
Half. 3 is half of 6, right? Or 6
Correct.
is half of 3. Let's pretend we all know. We know numbers, right?
I know nothing.
What is the square root of pi?
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of school, one point in elementary school, I remember a question very vividly that said, name a time and a place where your sister had stolen your book bag and turned it in as homework, and I wrote down as an answer, I don't have a sister. I, of course, immediately got the answer wrong somehow.
Oh, well.
The teacher wrote funny, and I'm like, wait, what? It's not a joke.
Oh, well. That's what 10-year-old do for you.
I mean, you can find funny stuff like that. Oh, Nightcrawler. Did he meant to fall down there?
I believe he did.
Yes, he did. But yeah, you go on Google, you can find silly answers like that all the time.
So it looks like Rose City Saint polishes off a boss. Alsoa finishing off Palace 3. So for the next couple moments, as Nightcrawler's about to finish off Barba, hopefully, we'll have all of our runners on 3 palaces completed.
Why did Nightcrawler cast Reflect? Probably by accident.
I think to not eat a fireball
Yeah.
and get knocked into the lava, but that's just my theory on things.
When I was little, I wrote a bizarre version of Princess and the Pea. But the point of view of the pea... What?
For the record, P-Lifer, Nightcrawler is only less ahead now than he was before. He does have 4 crystals to everybody else's 3, so he's not behind, he's just less ahead.
But right now he's not in a palace and everyone else is.
That's very true. Henceforth, being less ahead.
He's gotta make this traveling around worth it.
He needs to either find or remember where Palace 2 and Palace 3 are.
And we've seen Palace 2 and 3.
Yes, we have. But,
X-Man or XL. No, I'm done. That was the worst joke ever.
Mods, please ban.
This way I won't have to come back.
Oh, can I be the one to do it? Rose City Saint equaling the playing field with Nightcrawler. Well, at least in the way of palaces completed. I think 5 and 6 are going to give Rose City Saint a little more trouble than, well, when Nightcrawler actually finds 2 and 3.
I think 6 was the worst.
Oh, definitely.
The rest of them seem pretty normal. Besides the MOAs everywhere.
Yeah, it looks like Also is about to join the 4 Palace Club. Trails won't be too far behind, I don't think. I'm a little curious as to what exactly Nightcrawler is up to right now. He's gone into a town trying to find well, it looks like he's
just trying to get something.
I don't think it's the something that he was looking for. It looks like that thunder spell is unfortunately eluding him, but he knows what town it is in now. Just has to find that town. And Palace 2 and 3.
When your commentator asks for a chat ban. If I get chat banned from speed gaming, does that mean I get free pizza?
No, but I might order you one.
Sweet. That's just stupid.
Well,
then
probably
again, I have to
order you
avoid
like
fat foods.
10
I don't
more
get
after
overweight.
that, too, but, you know.
I don't want to get overweight like some people we know.
Well, I'm getting there.
Buffet destroyers, you know? P-Lifer, we're all overweight in our own way.
Well, right now, it looks like Nightcrawler's in danger of losing that lead. Rose City Saint is into Palace 5, and it looks like Trails is into Palace 1.
Nightcrawler, why would you go down that way? You know there's nothing there.
I think he might just be officially lost at this point.
I think Nightcrawler.exe has stopped working. You managed to find one of the palaces.
Isn't that Palace 4?
Yep.
Oh, so I did mess it up
one.
and call the wrong palace before. Might have been Palace 3 finished earlier.
No, didn't he beat Kirok?
I thought he did, but
No, I believe he
everything
did.
going on, I'm just kind of...
Now I'm tilted. He beat Karok. Right?
I thought so. But, maybe he's item hunting in the palace?
I blame you for this.
Well, I blame you.
Well, I blame Alan.
Oh, whoever rolled the seed...
Who's above Alan? Who do I blame?
Probably still Alan.
Okay. You want to blame Alan?
Sure.
Alright.
So, unfortunately for Nightcrawler, Rose City Saint and now Trails have finished the 5th Palace. So that'll be Palace 1 for Trails and Palace 5 for Rose City Saint. Trails has the slightly easier road ahead with Palace 3. Rose City Saint, unfortunately, gonna have to take a trip to Maze Island.
So let's see if he did it. Oh!
No, that's a Karok, so,
What palace did he do?
it would have had to have been 3.
3?
Yeah, unfortunately, I called that one wrong and trolled Alan unintentionally.
Don't worry, we're both half asleep.
Because, you know, confusing the orange blocks and the dark orange blocks is, you know, a thing.
Logical.
Oops. Because Trails is in 3, and I thought Nightcrawler was in 4 before. But, oh well.
On a side note, have you ever played Sonic 06?
What?
The bad Sonic game.
You mean any one of them after, like, the first one? Or maybe the first 2?
Well, basically, every time my birthday hits up, I play Sonic 06 and drink. Because I know the game is that bad. Because that's pretty much the year gaming died. I mean, let's be real. Has any game been decent after 2006? Like, when I say decent, I mean, like, something rated above Ocarina of Time or this, or any NES game.
There's been a couple games that I've enjoyed.
Very few, though. Very few.
But I'd have to think of what year they actually came out in, though. Let's see. One that I think was in and around that time was... Ace Combat 5, I think, was... 2008? 2007? And
I will say Warframe is okay.
To this day, I still think that's one of the best games just ever made.
I guess RCS just missed that, or he's trying to get down. Ah, he knows where he's going.
Well, Alsoa knows where he's going, and that's to the right side of the screen to hide in a corner as he's taking on Karok. It looks like Nightcrawler starting to see things slip away a little bit. Not
I don't
into
understand
Palace
why
2.
people don't stay on the left side and just wait with Reflect out. On Alzoa's side with Reflect. Like, why didn't he just stay there? Kind of wasted time running across to the right to do that.
You're gonna have to run to the right anyway after you beat him, so, you know.
Time efficiency, I don't know.
No, Kirito, it was Ace Combat 5, because all of the other Ace Combat games are not as good as Ace Combat 5.
It's like saying a Dynasty Warrior game, the first one's better than the last one.
Well, they're just the same game.
Slightly improved every time. Ace Combat 5 came out in 04. Yep. I was pretty much certain of that.
Well,
I'm saying single-player games.
and Ace Combat 5 was definitely that.
I think Gundam Dynasty Warriors 3 was good. I thought it should have had a sequel, but, you know, it didn't.
Blame licensing.
It wasn't really licensing, they just kind of stopped.
Uh-oh, I think Rose City Saint fell down a little too far.
No, there is a 3. Go look it up. I've played all 3 of them. They're all available on, I believe, PS4 and Xbox 360. I played it on Xbox 360. There was a 4, it was called Reborn, but it was in Japan only on PS4. Which was terrible. I didn't get to play that.
Oh, you're not missing out on much, but right now, what I missed out on is actually Trails is probably going to be the first into Great Palace. He's got all 6 crystals dunked into their palaces, and it looks like he's on his way into Death Valley.
If he can find his way there.
I believe he knows where it is, because he was there previously.
Well, I mean, this is the only path he hasn't taken yet. See, look now, I got chat talking about all kinds of games.
Well, let's call it a 117, just for ease of numbers. Trails into Great Palace, so he'll have a slight lead over our other restreamed runners. I'm not sure if anybody else is running outside of our restreamed runners.
Don't think he has fairy. Wait, no, did he? Does Trails have fairy? Yeah. I don't.
Trails is going to be at a slight handicap.
He doesn't.
Only 5. Oh, that looks like Thunderbird right off the chute, right after the first screen. So this might be a rough fight for Trails. He might be getting all but one-shotted by the Thunderbird with only 5 blocks of health. I believe Nightcrawler and Rose City Saint both have 7, also on 6.
Is this a short GP?
It may well be, but the Thunderbird's showing up almost immediately.
Alan said it is short, and that is sounding like the greatest thing ever. Because on top of last week's, it was a long GP, and everyone wanted to pull their hair out. Me included.
Well, we'll see if it works out for our other runners. If we have a short GP, we might have not enough time for any of them to catch up to Trails. Ooh, Trails getting a little tricky.
I'm gonna just go right through here, bye.
It's like, nope, I don't want any of this nonsense.
You didn't mind last week's GP because you didn't have to commentate on it for over 2 hours. That was... like what? It was a 2-hour and 40-minute run? That was almost 3 hours. I was like, can I go to bed now after about half of that?
Rose City Saint looks to be the second one of our runners, potentially finishing off all
the
6.
toilet snake.
And Barba just getting absolutely demolished.
You could say Barba got flushed. Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to avoid your
Yeah,
nonsense
I know.
as the boo hisses come in from the gallery as well.
There has to be one bad pun. I'll ban you later. We need one bad pun per stream.
But it looks like Rose City Saint's going to be our next contestant into...
Hey, Frico, your
Great
goal is to make one bad pun before the stream is over.
No. No, thank you.
Oh.
It looks like Rose City Saint going to be about a little over 4 minutes behind Trails coming into Great Palace. So we'll see if Rose City Saint can make up this time.
P-Lifer, I think that was just one bad pun. It's not like my, Discord photo is Sans or anything.
Ay. Well, Nightcrawler's picking up the final piece of the puzzle, and finally getting Thunder. And it looks like Alsoa might have just finished off Palace 2. It'd be unfortunate if he still had Palace 2 left to do, but heading over to pick up Thunder as well.
Okay, P-Lifer, that was just a bad pun. You could say that was humorous. Looks like Trails is just about to win. During all my terrible puns.
Now, Rose City Saint's about to get a surprise. Ooh.
And he's not taking it. Ooh.
But there we go. Trails is going to be our first restreamed runner. And also first overall. 1 hour, 23 minutes, 15 seconds. The official SRL time.
I'd like to see that, but unfortunately, I don't have any eyes. So are we getting, Oh.
Yeah, we've just,
got a lot of
the
Trails.
intruder alarm.
Intruder
So what
alert.
happened? How did I win?
Everybody else decided to go slower.
I did made all the wrong decisions, dude. Like,
Well,
when I found... I was pretty surprised no one had finished yet.
For, I would say, about the first 40 minutes or so, you were solidly in
Third?
a race for Alsoa to see who was in fourth place. Because both of you were in the Maze Island Palace, which I believe is Palace 6.
Yeah, that was Palace 6.
And I think you finished before Alsoa did, although Alsoa had about a 3 or 4 minute edge over you into entering the palace. And speaking of entering a palace, Nightcrawler and Alsoa both making their way into the Great Palace.
Was I the first in Great Palace?
Oh,
Yep.
by far. Rose City Saint
4
was
minutes.
about 4 minutes behind, and Nightcrawler and Alsoa 11 minutes behind.
That's crazy. So how's Rose City?
I think he just spent a lot of time early on exploring Death Mountain and just nothing came of it.
Yeah, the boots were there.
Oh, doesn't look like he ever grabbed them.
I got boots and I forget, maybe a flute or something.
You're the only one who has boots on the Restream side.
That's crazy.
Is that right? Alan,
It
did you track it?
probably is.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
No, we were yelling at Alan because he's the tracker, probably not even paying attention.
It was in Hammer Cave, but did anyone else go there?
I think Alan checked out about same time both of us did.
Which is when we started making puns. To keep ourselves entertained. I could have swore I seen someone walk in water tiles.
Yeah, trails.
There had been more than one person. I could be wrong.
But the advantage that you had, Trails, was that you did all of your exploring and then all of the palaces, so you had pretty much everything you needed. Nightcrawler was in the lead for most of the night, but he had to go back. I think he forgot where either Palace 2 or 3 was, and then had to go pick up Thunder as well.
Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't 2 or 3, it was 4 and 2, right? Remember?
Yeah,
you
that's
miscalled
right.
4,
Yeah,
it was 2
because
and 4.
Because 3 and 4 were basically the same color, and I confused them the first time around. You're right.
I didn't even find Palace 1 at first. I totally walked right past it and didn't see it. At the very end of the game, I was like, really sweating it because I was missing a palace, and on the way to Palace 3, I ended up running into Palace 1, and I don't know. As soon as I got Glove, I got Shield, or I got Reflect and Thunder, I just started placing jumps, dude. I already felt like I was behind, so I just went as fast as I could, finding all the bosses and just beating them quickly and getting out of there.
Well, we might have RCS join us in a second because he's about done.
Yeah, Amazing Toaster, one of our not restreamed runners, just picking off Rose City Saint with a time of 1 hour, 27 and 26 seconds. Rose City Saint going to be our third place finisher overall. Looks like his official SRL time, 1 hour, 28 and 43 seconds. So a little over 5 minutes over Rose City Saint Trails.
Runner. I'm always scared when I face him because, let's face it, he's always finishing stuff like this at around the hour 10 mark. So,
Well, caught him in a bad situation because, like I said, I think Rose City Saint got caught up in Death Mountain, and I think that just put him behind for the rest of the way.
I didn't know that you had that. I thought Death Mountain was a pass-through cave. You could actually, there was a road that went through the weird double bridge encounter. and I didn't even know that. And I used Death Mountain as a pass through the majority of the time.
Yeah, did you I wanted to ask, what were you doing when you were walking out on the ocean with the boots? You went like up and down.
I was trying to see if I benefited at all from having the boots, but it didn't seem like I did.
Not even in Death Mountain?
Not even in Death Mountain. Well, Death Mountain, Spectacle Rock was free, and I found Hammer Cave second, so Hammer Cave is what had boots in it.
I mean, like, were you expecting an island or maybe a cut around?
Hopefully. Hey, what's up, RCS? GG.
Thanks. Yeah, that seed felt like anything but a sub 90 seed. It felt like about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that one was pretty rough. I thought actually the road that went in through the double bridge encounter, so I thought Death Mountain was the only way to get to the other side.
Well, yeah, that was a miscalculation. I made a pretty bad miscalculation too, and that's, after about 20-25 minutes, I completely forgot that jump cave was a thing and that I had jump. So I spent like countless minutes just scouring for the boots and digging the item out of 2, digging the item out of 4, and thought I had it narrowed down so that Death Mountain had to be the boots, and Death Mountain was the boots, but it didn't have to be. So that was like a really bizarre coincidence to me.
Now, I was going to say, you were spending a lot of time in Death Mountain.
Yeah, I was convinced that you needed the boots. I thought you needed to do some coast walking to get anywhere. It had just slipped my mind that I now had the ability to go through jump cave. That was just a misplay. I would have been very, very baffled if I had found Hammer Cave and it had not been the boots, because then I would know, well, I did something wrong. But then
There was a hint. There was a hint.
I didn't see any hints.
There was a hint for the boots in Death Mountain.
I don't think I saw it.
And Hammer Cave definitely had the boots, but they didn't help out at all. Like, honestly, they were kind of a waste of time.
Yeah, they were a moderate help on Maze Island, but by the time I had them, I'd already done 2 trips through the hard way.
Yeah, Maze Island was kind of a pain in the butt. I game over it on the east, and I had to go all the way back. Man, this seed gave me a rough way to go.
Yeah, same thing happened to me. I took an early game over in one of those lava encounters that occurred when you were in a forest tile. Those were really rough. I had no fairy at that time. There was no candle, no way to survive that.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, dude. It was pretty rough, and I didn't get any heart containers until later on. So I was, for the first 40 minutes or so, I only had 1 heart. I mean 4.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I got plenty of magic containers early, and I had 0 spells. That might be one of the first times I ever remember getting the 4 spells from the Eastern continent before getting a single spell from the West. That was very unusual. Completely upside down seed. It didn't help that I forgot about Jump Cave. That would have changed a couple things, I think. But still, I was able to skip so much on that other segment of the West by the time I'd found it, that even if I had found it early, I think I would have wasted some time on caves and stuff there, and like the item out of P1 and stuff like that. So it wouldn't have saved me that much. I don't think it would have changed anything. Just I wouldn't have felt like such a numbskull.
Right, like the whatchamacallit, shoot, what was I gonna say? All I saw was Jump Cave at the beginning, and that lingered in the back of my mind. And as soon as I got Jump Spell, I was like, oh, when I take a game over, I have to see what's over there.
Yeah, I had the complete opposite. I just completely forgot about Jump Cave. It was like it didn't exist. I just said, well, I saw both sides of Death Mountain, both sides of the Fairy Cave. I said, I'm just going to have to do some coast walking. I need the boots.
Nightcrawler has just finished, and Alsoa will probably be finishing in a moment.
Yeah, Alsoa's just starting the Dark Link fight. Victor Santa Fe is going to be our fourth place finisher. 1 hour 33 and 21 seconds. Nightcrawler just a little over a minute behind, 1 hour 34 and 48 seconds in fifth place.
GG's to those guys, and thank you guys for the commentary and the restream. I'm going to duck out now, but I'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, good luck the rest of the way, RCS.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Do we drag Nightcrawler in here? Up.
There he is.
Hello.
You had such a lead.
Hey, what's up, man?
I know. I
blew it.
blew like five, like I don't know, at least 3 or 4 minutes on P6 when I messed that up. I cast Fairy instead of casting Life. And
We chuckled on that, and then you took a
yeah.
lava dive.
Yeah, a Fairy Lava Dive. Oh my god, that was embarrassing. But I mean, even that 3 or 4 minutes would not have won me the race. But I lost my lead somewhere else. I think also going back to
I think what you should have done was just, as soon as you done the first palace you did, you should have just kept exploration.
yeah, possibly, yeah. I kind of almost full Joshy did that. Because I had almost everything in the game, except for some heart containers. And the cross and the candle, of course. Well, I'm surprised with this kind of seed that many people finish so close together.
Hello.
It's kind of weird. And I bet you I had the fastest GP, though.
Who's that?
I bet you I had the fastest GP.
You had a fast GP?
Yeah, I pretty much went the right way.
I feel like I did too, though. Did you take the Eon drop right from Jump Street and left in the trails?
Oh no, I didn't. Is there there must be a quicker way to Dark Link then?
Yeah, I did some weird stuff and ended up on the top of the L7 room, and then I ended up walking around, and Dark Link was right.
Considering, I thought that. I mean, I figured I had maybe a little bit of an early lead, but with this many players, I figured other players would be really close to me, and I figured that I dropped a lot of time in various places. When I was at like 120 or whatever, that's the last time I kind of looked at the RSC chat, and I saw nobody dunning. I'm like, well, taking a left somewhere in GP. So I took a left somewhere in GP, and it worked out.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, also,
There we go. My mic decided not to work for a little bit. GG's, everybody.
Hey, GG.
So
It
I
was
thought I
working.
was doing fine by not picking up boots, and then I wasn't doing fine because I couldn't find Palace 2 or Darunia.
I didn't get boots at all. But
boots
yeah,
were never
Darunia
required.
was a pain, I gotta say.
Yeah, it was in the middle of nowhere, and it was in the middle of nowhere past a flute block and a forced encounter on the road.
Yeah.
And I ain't trying to hear it. I placed my first gem at like the 40 or the 50th minute mark.
Yeah, I had my
Oof.
first gem at 47, and then it was just run down the gamut of gems and find Darunia. And then GP took a little while because I didn't go left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trails and Alsoa were in a race to see who could place their first crystal last. Nightcrawler, I think you were just about to place your fourth crystal at that same point, but then it all sort of went south for you, Nightcrawler, as you explained for us.
Yeah. Man, if I didn't ferry, then it would have been real close, and I would have come in at least second, probably. That's too bad.
Well, my thing was, as soon as I saw that the glove was on Maze Island from the hint, I said, okay, I'm just going to hold off on palaces, go to Maze Island first, and happened to find the hammer and Nukasudo and the Yeti key on the way, so I just said, okay, I'll roll with it.
Oh yeah, I got so many good items in the beginning of the game. I was like, well, this is working out.
I am very happy that I did check the rock on Death Mountain, though, because I
Forgot what it
was...
was. A magic.
Yeah,
kid or
that's what the kid
something?
was.
Oh, the
I was
kid,
slightly
yeah.
concerned about a boots block, saw the kid, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to gamble on no boots.
Yeah. I didn't want to walk. You know, if I had boots, I would have
They didn't
probably
help at
found
all.
Darunia.
They
I
did
would have found
not.
Darunia really early.
Oh, there was water by it because
I just mean that I would not have up an 8 out of P6 when I went there first, and I would have just walked back. I'm like, I don't want to go through all those encounters again, so I didn't explore the rest of that continent until later.
yeah, I had boots when I went in there, but I had an awful P6. I game over a couple times. I got the medicine and then took a game over right after, and then it was just shitty, dude.
Yeah. Well, not too shitty. You took first. GG.
Yeah, thanks, man. I was really scared. I took some crazy gambles. At the end, I went straight left in Trails Room.
Yep.
Shoutouts to medicine not actually being required, but still helpful.
What was it, like Shield or something stupid like that?
What was
Yeah,
Fire
that
linked to?
kind of made my tea...
Fire
my-
was linked to shield.
Fire was Shield, though. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't have either or.
So you saved yourself a lot of time, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent like 20 minutes looping in Palace 6. It would not have made a difference if I had not needed... It would not have made a difference if I had not gone for the medicine. I would have found it anyway.
Yeah,
But
I
I
mean,
still didn't know where Thunder was at that point, so it made sense.
It wasn't so
I
much
mean,
the picking up of medicine, it was the turning in of medicine, because this is a pretty far out of the way town.
yeah, I mean, I found the medicine. I just never turned it in.
I don't think it was that far, depending on how you routed the west, because I did all of the west palaces last, so I kind of hit it on the way.
Yeah, then that's good.
But it still wasn't the most ideal place for the town to be. It would have been much better if it was like, oh, right next to the starting point. Okay, there's Mito.
Huh.
By the way,
Wait.
shout outs to the East Continent for having jumped to get through Jump Cave.
I know, this is such a wonky seed. At the
Yeah.
start.
Was Jump Cave required?
Absolutely. It
I don't know if
absolutely
boots were
was.
available without it.
Yeah, Jump Cave was absolutely required. Even if you had boots, you couldn't walk around the continent. It was weird. It was like two separate ordeals. They were blocked off on both sides.
Yeah.
I tried.
It's kind of weird, that that Western continent. Not too often when you see, a single pass through being the only way through.
Well, I'm going to jump off, guys. Again, GG's to everybody that was in this race, and thanks for the commentary and the restream and the tracking and all that.
You're welcome.
GG.
And thank Alan for most of that. Trails,
I-
you getting off?
Who, me?
Yeah. You gonna stay here for us to cut the stream? Because normally it's, either me or Nightcrawler that cuts it, or maybe Freako this time will surprise us.
Nope.
Man, I got shit I gotta do first thing in the morning. I gotta be up at 6 a.m. to go work. So you guys go ahead. And thanks for everything. GG everybody, and have a good night, guys. And thanks for everything that you guys do.
Long live Zelda 2 Randomizer.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
S word.
Yeah, dirty mouth.
Can't say that on stream. No, it
Dirty
doesn't
mouth.
matter. All right. So I've been playing around on a side note with Python, and I think Zelda 2 is capable of multiplayer if I can script this right,
What?
similar to Ocarina of
Yeah.
Time's online. How would that make you feel randomized online?
What multiplayer would look like?
No, I mean just the idea concept. How does that feel to you? Like being able to enter and walk around in the same palace and race to finish the seed.
It could be pretty cool. But
You each have your own individual inventory. You have to dunk the gems on your own. But you
Well-
basically ghost. You can see what the other person's doing.
do you get the items when the other people get their items?
You can
or what?
choose to disable that.
Yeah, well then, that could be
It's
fun.
basically like, okay, you play Mario Kart, you see the ghost.
Yeah, so
Your
it's
previous
just
time
you'd
trial,
be
it's like
seeing
that.
the other person. If it's running off the NES, though, it would cause extra lag having that extra sprite on screen, though, right?
I could do something about it, I just don't know what. I'm thinking maybe I could reduce sprite counts.
Well, that could be interesting. What do you think, Trails?
Trails is gone.
What do you think, Alcera?
He's gone too.
I think,
We just have ghosts.
Freako,
Actual
tell me.
ghosts. We have
You
Alan,
know
who's a ghost. I mean, Alan doesn't even talk. He's just a ghost. We just praise a ghost, right?
Ah, well.
Oh, Alan unmuted himself. Oh no.
I talk sometimes. I have a voice. I just don't like
Wait.
using it that much.
Since when were the trackers allowed to speak? Get out of here. You gotta go. This is the commentator section.
Oh, so I'm shunned into the corner now? Oh, okay, thanks, yeah.
You know what, Alan? Just end the episode today. I'm done. Just end it abruptly. Let me talk about pancake mix for like a straight minute and just end it, okay? Just go hit the end button, okay? Starting right now, just go in, hit the end button. I'm going to talk about pancake mix. So first off, what you gotta
make
do...
It, you gotta make it yourself. You gotta make the pancake mix yourself.
I'm done.
First off, you gotta get that pancake mix. Just add
Have a
water
good
to
night,
it.
everybody.
You gotta get that butter, that powder.
Look,
You gotta
you
mix it
need
all up. You gotta get that extra tablespoon of sugar with
you
you.
need the baking powder, baking soda. Is it over?
I think Freako just...
Freako
He's
checked
gone.
out. Press the button.
I have to press the button myself, man. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, that's mean. I gotta
Pancakes
find the
are
button
pretty
now.
good,
Give me a minute, guys.
I'm not sure about buttermilk for the pancakes, so
I'm surprised he just left.
you are.
Yes, I'm like, I expected him to just end it, but at the same time,
How far buried do you have that button? Go press the button.
I don't know. I really feel. I mean, like,